So we're still in Brazil at the Esperança farm with Bruno. Now we're going to walk you through how we're processing coffees here. So maybe first, how much coffee have you processed this season?
Probably included everything, 1,000 bags, included some that I did for somebody else.
Yeah.
So mine is probably 700 this year.
Yeah. And
again.
then you're processing. So we have a few different kind of versions of processing. Natural, of course, classic, pulled natural, a bit of washed, a bit of tank fermentation.
Yeah, it's small, yeah.
That we should talk about. Do you want to walk us through the different approaches?
Yeah, do you know what? Unfortunately, the tanks are not here.
No, I haven't seen them. That's fine.
Because we can show what we do in the tanks. That we have a plastic tanks.
Yeah. You're out of the picture.
Yeah. Because I need to show them.
Yeah. You can show. He will follow you with the camera.
Yeah, but what we do is have these plastic tanks with 240 liters that they use, usually the original it's to carry like mushrooms.
Yeah.
So you don't have a smell, you wash, and you put the coffee and cherries inside, and without water, and you can have like a pipe that can take out the oxygen, but we fill it up everything. If you're gonna do more than 4 days, you need this for. But in the 3 days, 72 days is not good enough for the oxygen has some damage. And you fill it up and you're gonna lose maybe 5 centimeters after. So you're gonna have some oxygen, but you still starting to producing carbonic. And what I did is, I dropped this in the side of this water.
Yeah.
You need to come to show the water.
He will come.
So the tanks stayed here in this water. When you put the tanks, like half of the tank, it's underwater. So, no, the lid also is under the water, half, right? So you don't have oxygen come in because you have the water.
Yeah.
So you really don't have oxygen come in, but you still have space to the oxygen come out. And the pressure is much more out than in. So half is under the water. The other half is in the top, but the oxygen is going out, so you don't have space to oxygen come in.
Yeah.
The pressure is more inside out.
Yeah.
So stay here for 72 hours, and after 72 hours, you take this out, and usually you do natural.
Yep.
And we can put like some tangerine inside but this is more experiment. What we really have a good result, and this is repeating every year, is to ferment the coffee itself without nothing in the tank. We're going to see what happened with the one that we did with Examosalate and also
We've done some interesting experiments this season that we're going to cut tomorrow. We'll see what comes out of that. Okay, so we should do tank fermentations. You do standard naturals, pulp naturals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most is natural. Maybe the average every year is about probably 60 to 70% naturals. And this year it's a little bit over, maybe 80.
Yeah.
Because of the weird maturation. This has to do with the weather.
Yeah, sure.
There was crazy condition, too much rain in the wrong time.
Yeah.
So it's the coffees. By July, we didn't have more cherries, as you saw today.
Yeah, sure.
And that is the one that has the most.
Yeah.
So what nobody has now. So everybody's finished the harvest. I'm supposed to finish my harvest end of August, beginning of September. And we are done already, basically. So this creek, it's where you use it to this washing station.
Yeah.
So this is, they call Maravilha. And if I translate to English, you'll look like, it's stupid, marvelous. It's not the translation, it's the name, it's Maravilha, so I can't translate. It's like Bruno.
Yeah.
They call them Maravilha, so this thing is very good. No, but this is not because he's the best, and it's what they had. And the funny thing, we use the water, right? You have a channel, the water, we're separating the floaters and the cherries, blah, blah, blah. The mechanic didn't change. They use the same principle. The only difference, instead of water, you have water, but the water is pushed by the electric motor. and here is only the pressure of the water. This is the problem with this methodology is what you cannot do with the water, because the water can kill the fish. So this water can't go back to the creek before you filter it. What we did is I have 3 pounds that it's far away, but behind the warehouse. The dirty thing is I have a pound. And with a type of grass. It's a brachyardia grass, one type that grows in the water. So we have water running all year long, right? So they're green. Now they're brown because she's filtering my mucilate. And this year we didn't have a lot, because as you know, when we wash the coffee, the natural, you don't have the mucilates that can damage. But still, all the water goes to this pond. So it's filled up, escape, and have escape, and the escape go down and go to another tank. This tank fill it up and go to another tank. So we are filtering the water 3 times before go back to the creek. So it goes completely clean in the creek. And as I told you, next year we're gonna change the depulper. The depulper will be here only for, remember, it's like historic, it's a museum. So this is space. And actually gonna use also the mechanic washer that separate the floaters, and you need less water and better productivity, and you need only 1 man to do almost everything. So it's what we are changing next year. We're gonna do 3 machines, and this one will be our lion sour.
And then after the washing, you do drying, and you do a few different you both have raised beds, and then obviously the patio as well. Plus you have your volcano concept, which I believe I haven't seen in so many other countries. I think that's
Really?
Is that a Brazil thing, or is it a
No, it's because the people don't dry the coffee in the patio. They use dryers.
Yeah, sure.
Don't know, because it saved me 6 days.
Yeah.
If I let the coffee dry itself in the ground, maybe what they are doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Don't know, after it's dry, it takes longer, and it will not be uniform. What makes the coffee uniform is the volcano. When you put the volcano, they start to change, and up, down, up, right? So when you open this tarp tomorrow, you're gonna see water inside of the tarp.
Yeah.
So he's pulling the water because it's hot but also it's you have the coffee uniform. They're exchanging between the beans. It's the only time that the beans still change. And as you see today, we did some different things, because it's not only in a volcano. We put a tarp, the coffee in the tarp, drop the tarp and put another tarp on the top. We are expecting a little bit of rain, and this is the worst time that I can have a rain. I can damage my coffee. This could be your coffee. Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe you're gonna cup some with the Lua that is the same variety, so you can see if you like better than. If you like the Lua better, this one will be 1 point score less, maybe. Because it's the same process. We dry the same, and the only difference that maybe you need to get, if you don't like the one that I separate for you, you need to get one in the top. Because in the top it's even if it was not in a. Actually, everything this year was in a honey, in honeymoon. It's on the eclipses, the moon eclipses.
Sure.
But it's a full moon. The only difference, it's what we call moon, is the one that we did at night. In the other were but everything in that plantation were did in a full moon. So all the coffees, you can call that was in a full moon. One is eclipses, but and so the coffee it's coming here. The natural we dry 100% sun dried. We don't use dryer, even if you have the dryer, but I'm not using for the last 12 years. And maybe until I reach 2,500 bags in 3 years, I'm not using. So probably going to start to using the dryer 21 or 22. 22 for sure, but maybe 21. And so we put the coffees, we use this, like we talked about the volcano. After the coffee is halfway, after like about 20%, 26%, we start to putting in volcanoes. Open every day and then close every day. When it is like about 18%, we open today, put together, and 3 days we don't open. So the 4th day we open, another 2 days it's ready. And they are starting to so it's, now that the coffee is still dry in the end, this year it's taking a little less. But it can go from 15 to 25 days to dry, depend of the maturation stage. The beds, I really like the raising beds to, as I told you, to sort the coffee. It's a selective harvest there.
Yeah.
You know, I have some beans that's not completely ripe.
Should we just walk down and have a quick look at it? And then you can...
So we're gonna close, like doing something like this here. And the guy come with the tractor. I'm gonna do a hole here. And the coffee goes where you see the husk. In that place, you're gonna go to the one pre-cleaning, wash that separate the floaters, and the pulper without water. The pulper, I think that I'm gonna go for Penagros. You have a Brazilian version, but I think that Penagros has. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Maybe in 10 years I can use the Brazilian, but Penagros, I really like that shit.
They're very good, yeah.
So all this husk is going back to the
plantation.
Yeah. And this year, because the harvest was a little bit different, what we do, it's every morning we took out what we did yesterday. But this year we are using one guy less. We are not able to find one more the way that they want. This is the funny part, right? Everybody in the world knows that the Brazilian has a problem with the employment, all right? Try to find somebody to do a work for you here. Oh, it's only harvest time. No, if you want quality work, like if you want, only for I have idea, it's a problem with the employment here, right? So I have 2 guys that asked me to release them in April and May. You know why? Because they have job, whatever, and any time that they want to come back, I have job for them.
Yeah, sure.
They know how to operate tractor and all this stuff, you know. See what they do? Patrick, it's raining, right? You don't have a space. What we did, put the coffee in the cart and it's safe till Monday. Another thing that these guys I can help them to be more smart. We can reinforce this here and bring, like you can put one between them. You can bring the bags and put the bags on. Yeah, we use the dry beds to start to drying the coffee. And we always try to finish in the concrete. And another thing that's very good that we already told is how you can select the beans. Do you know what is it? This is a big organic production. I have some trees that I planted in. It's like a agroforest that we are starting to do, but it's something that you can't, it's little by little. So the creek, where you see the pineapple and all these things, we start to planting some other trees and have like everything there, like an agroforest that they are doing. And this is part of the agroforest in coffee. I have planted like about 100 trees, and we have field that's starting to producing. And this is a shade ground, organic coffee that you can see the trees. It's close to bananas, close to the mango. And so we are harvesting, doing difference. And it's funny, we did like about 3 liters of coffee. First one that we harvest. And we let the coffee dry here to experiment, and it's weird, man. I don't know what's happening, but the first one, all the coffee stays like that, got that mold. But was not like that, was like more green. And the green mold is not good, right? Technically. And we went to cup the coffee. And the best coffee in the fucking table was this. And there was a lot of beans, they were like this. So
basically what you do here is that you dry it here mainly so you can start sorting it, but you don't finish here because you don't think the drying is uniform enough here.
No.
So you want to finish on the patio in the volcanoes because the moisture is like changing between the beans, so you get a more uniform moisture level in the beans.
And here, even if I do a volcano here, it's open under, so I have humidity coming at night. So you dry the coffee during the day, at night the coffee gain another humidity. And also, I can do the same in concrete. What I do is I put this together, put a tarp here, and bring, like we did today. We see we're doing the tarp, and like he helped to the tarp. Remember the city boy doing the so we can do the same here. But if I have the tarp,
Yep.
it's the idea. I think that this is here for the first couple of days because you lose the moisture in a cool way without wrecking the coffee. So after a couple of days, it's better, like about 7 days, it's better finishing in the patio. And we'll be more uniform.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna be cupping basically a bunch of lots tomorrow, and we're gonna be able to tell you guys how all of this is tasting as well, which is really cool. Awesome. Thank you.